Hi guys, my name is LC,
My name is JT.
and welcome to the 2016 European Grand Prix preview. It's a street circuit which combines the 1950s old and tight style driving we see at the street circuit in Monte Carlo with the new glitz and glamour 21st century street circuit we see in Singapore. It's an amazing race, and I can't wait to get there and see what is in store for us. Because from a spectator's point of view, just in pictures, it's an unbelievable spectacle. We should be on for an amazing race. We are set for 51 laps on Sunday around the street circuit, with a 3.7 mile lap length. This also features the longest straight in Formula 1 with just over a mile. Now, as I mentioned in the review show, which came out on Monday, this will overtake China's, which is just under a mile long, the back straight in China. 190.1 miles will be driven around the street circuit at an anti-clockwise circuit, and it will be an unbelievable race. There's not much to say on the preview because, as you know, there's no lap records, and this is the first running of it. But JT, how excited are you to see this brand new race on the calendar?
Well, I'm always excited to see a brand new circuit on the calendar. Obviously, we've had loads coming up recently in the past couple of seasons, and this is definitely one of them. Classic. That could be one of them classic circuits. Definitely, it's long, it's tight. It looks really, really exciting to see. I remember seeing the preview. I think it was back in 2014 or 2015 when they announced the layout of the circuit. And I'm looking at that going, it's odd to look at, but it looks really, really exciting. Then obviously they released pictures at the end of last year, and you're like, oh. There could be some very, very exciting racing there, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Sector 3 is the track layout. To start with, the track layout is almost like Abu Dhabi. There's Sector 1 and Sector 2. They're very long and very, less corners. It's, about straight line speed. Then you get into Sector 3, and there's so many corners. There's 11 corners just in Sector 3 alone, 20 altogether in the race. As you come out of corner 20, that leads on to the longest straight, which is down the back straight, past the start-finish line. It's the back straight. The start-finish line, I meant to say, sorry. Also, we have one of the longest pit lanes in Formula 1 with a left-hand bend, which joins a track just before corner 2. The things that we can see, like in terms of sightseeing, it goes past the government building, which is used in the Azerbaijan capital, and also like the old castles from history. If anyone does history and likes to look into that, including the incredibly tight uphill part of the circuit, which goes through the past the castle, and a very, very, very tight road, even just as a spectator's point of view. But after the barriers are put in, it's about as long as one car length, JT. So just taking that into consideration, what do you think in terms of the wheel-to-wheel action we could see?
It could be getting very, very close, especially at that corner. I think it's turns 9 and 10. I think it is around that point of where you were saying about the castle, how narrow it is. So I think that is where a lot of accidents are going to be. I believe the chance of a safety car is very high because 1, it's a street circuit. 2, it's new, and 3, it's very, very, like I said, very, very narrow, very, very tight. Very, very Monaco-esque, you could say. And obviously, this was the circuit that actually replaced the Korean Grand Prix. This race was set to be in 2015, but obviously Bernie moved it forward to 2016 for obviously further developments and stuff. And I believe this is one of them street circuits where, like, if you remember when they were going to have I think it was the New Jersey Grand Prix in America. I think that was supposed to be scheduled for 2014, 2015. And I remember this one being released at the same time, and I was like, oh God, is this just another one of our plans and stuff? And I believe that he hosted here because I think Azerbaijan won the Eurovision Song Contest, I believe. I think it was around that time. I was more or less after that. That's when everyone started going crazy about Azerbaijan. That's when Bernie said, right, we're going to have a race here. So, you know what I mean? So obviously it's getting a very, very popular city as well. Obviously it's one of them cities in countries where it's oil related and stuff, so obviously that's where all the money's inherited from. But I'm very, very excited for this. A lot of crashes as well, so a lot of Maldonados going on. So if Maldonado were to ever return in the future, I believe that this will be a circuit where we could, it could be Maldonadoed, as you could say. So
which could happen if Maldonado, as JT said, if Maldonado makes a return for 17, then look out when he comes.
Who knows?
To here. But I mean, wow, it will be such a great circuit to see, even on Friday morning, just as you turn it on for the free practice 1. It'll be amazing to see just the spectacles, the spectatorship, what you can see. And it's also great for Formula 1 as well, isn't it, JT? Because during the week in the Canadian Grand Prix, Heineken had said that they would join in Formula One. We're going all around the world, in the Far East and then the Far West. And up and down, side to side, everywhere that you can go in the world, day and night. And it's just great to add another, international string to Formula One's bow.
Exactly, it just adds more colour to the obviously the billboards and everything like that. I thought it looked very nice. Obviously, the liveries on the boards and stuff. To me, I don't know. It just makes the track stand out a little bit more. Obviously, with it being green as well. So, obviously, I don't think that's the reason why they brought Heineken in. Obviously, to make the tracks look more colourful.
It's too much green.
It's too much green. It's too green. I can't say. And obviously Rolex as well, their signs is green, everything else like that. Obviously, we're not trying to sponsor Rolex and Heineken, by the way, guys, in case you were wondering. It's like, have they got a secret deal with Heineken, Rolex? I wish.
They're not bad brands to support, though.
Oh, yeah, who knows? But I believe the capacity at this circuit is going to be about 28,000, which is... in terms of Formula 1, it is quite low, but for a street circuit, that's actually all right. Yeah. Which obviously means it's a long circuit, and it probably is going to be one of the longest circuits on the calendar. I think they said about a lap time, it's going to be about 135, 140, I believe, around that mark, I believe. I think I heard that from somewhere. Obviously, I can't really confirm that, but I believe that could be what the lap times could be.
Yeah.
So expect, close lap times, I could say, obviously, around the circuit. So everyone's on the same page now when it comes to a new circuit. So obviously, at street circuits like this, one phase like Hamilton and Rosberg and stuff, Vettel as well. So maybe the lower guys as well. And obviously, GP2 has been held here, so which is good, I believe, because next season, when say a GP2 driver were to come in, and normally when the new circuit has just been on, they don't tend to race there. Yeah. So now, obviously, they've got knowledge of the circuit. So when they come in next year, they could be experts. Like a Max Verstappen win it on their first attempt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it definitely helps. It all helps. As you said, JT, about the spectators, I mean that's a massive number for a very tight street circuit, which will be fantastic as well. Also, as well, if you are a fan of Pharrell, the singer, he will be performing at that weekend as well for the whole fan, which is great to see. Obviously, as we know, there's a lot of international stars that are performing at races. For example, like Taylor Swift is performing at this year's US Grand Prix in Austin, and obviously more to be confirmed.
I wonder if Justin Bieber will make another appearance at some point along with Lewis Hamilton, because he was rumoured to be doing the interview, the podium interviews in Canada, which I didn't see the interviews, but I believe that never happened.
Who was it? It was who was it? It was. I'll tell you, Michael Douglas. That was it. It was Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. All right. I didn't see it up to that point, but no. I mean, that's a strange friendship, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, could Justin Bieber secretly make an appearance at the Baku International Circuit? Stay tuned to find out. We've got more tech things to talk about than that.
Only the F1 debate show knows.
Exactly. We know. But
I mean, it is a strange one, JT. Is Justin Bieber going to get into Formula One, or likewise, is Lewis Hamilton going to get into singing?
Lewis Hamilton isn't the singing, so but just if he wants to get into Formula One, then sorry, mate, jog on. Your singing's bad enough. Your knowledge about Formula One is not needed in our society, so toddle on.
Right. As you know, this is a preview show. Like all the others, we are going to talk about how the drivers are going to fare.
Yes.
If you haven't already, please go and check out our review show, which came out on Monday. Unfortunately, one day late, and it is also just me. JT was busy during that, but he's back, obviously.
Hello.
As you see him on the other screen, his ugly mug. Obviously it was won by Lewis Hamilton. The champ is back, and it's hammer time. How he's so adopted that. So we're going to talk about who will perform at this new circuit, and there is no comparing to the last year's European Grand Prix, because there wasn't one, and there wasn't at Baku. So we're just going to have to compare to Canada, and it's also gut instinct as well. So let's start off with the championship leader, Lewis Hamilton, JT.
Nico Rosberg.
The reigning world champion, I meant to say.
Yes.
And how is... So the reigning world champion and the second man in the world championship, Lewis Hamilton, how will he fare at this track? Has he got his mojo back? He was lagging at the start of the season when Nico was dominating, and now he won at Monaco. He's won in Canada, and has he got his edge back? Will he start winning the next few races?
Possibly. I mean, obviously, with me not being for the review show, I'll give my views of the last race and this race in between. So I'm not just basically talking about the Canadian Grand Prix. But so yeah, Lewis Hamilton has got his mojo back. I mean, finally, can you believe it? Obviously, at the Canadian Grand Prix, which everybody predicted him to win, I think that's his 5th win at the Canadian Grand Prix. I mean, I think it was Alonso, Vettel, Button. I think that was all of them, I believe. Obviously the rest of the drivers on the grid have only won it once. The others who've won it on the current grid, and Hamilton's just dominating at that circuit right now. And this is a street circuit, so Hamilton loves street circuits. You know what I mean? At one street circuit, he's had more luck than the other. For example, like Monaco, he's won that twice. Singapore, I don't think he's won that. I don't think he's won Singapore. No, did he win in 2014?
No. Yes.
No, he did.
No.
Did he?
No.
No, he didn't.
No, yes, no, he didn't.
No, yes. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong, but
no, I don't think he did. No.
But when it comes to street circuits, I mean, Hamilton, yes, on his day it can be good. Get that strategy right, it'll be spot on. But at the same time, he's also got to be aware. And again, it's a brand new circuit as well, so everyone, like I said, is on the same page, on the same level of performance. So really expect the unexpected from both Lewis Hamilton and again Nico Rosberg, who is off the pace right now. Come on, Rosberg. You were giving us a very, very optimistic. Oh look, here we go. Lewis Hamilton era has ended. Yes, Mercedes still dominating, but it's another driver. We're not bothered. Yeah. Come on, Rosberg. What's going on?
Now, as I mentioned,
give us a bit of a fight.
Now, as I mentioned in the review show, obviously Rosberg's unbelievable rookie mistake, spinning off at lap 69, was unbelievable. So, before we talk about the man who I think had made rookie mistakes at the previous street circuit, not Canada, the other street circuit, the real street circuit, if you like. So, Nico Rosberg, what's he going to do on this circuit? Do you think he's going to make another rookie mistake? Because he's got a few things to deal with. He's got to deal with himself, but then he's also got to stop Lewis. And the first few races, he probably thought, well, I don't really need to do that anymore because I'm dominating. I won the last 3 races of last year, and then the first 4 races of this year, I'm on top. He hasn't caught us yet. But Canada, then he thought, oh yes, I've got to stop him now. Is that what his mentality is now? Is Rosberg sort of gone from the offensive back to the defensive, which he has been for a few years?
He'll definitely back at that defensive phase as what he was, what he has been for the past couple of seasons. And Rosberg needs to certainly pick up the pace now. As game, because we've been talking about Rosberg as to how he's matured and he's actually trying to beat Lewis Hamilton. He's trying to make a bit of an effort. But recently, he's just come out old Rosberg. I mean, kind of 1 minute he's good, the next minute he's just off form, and you're like, how can this happen? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And again, is that the pressure? As we've been saying all season, the pressure might get to Rosberg, and is this starting to show? Again, this is kind of a must-win circuit for Rosberg. I mean, in the next race in Austria. I believe that again that'll be a good chance for him because he's got a good record there. But obviously we don't know how the cars are going to fare probably up until about P3. We'll maybe Q1. Well, obviously that's when we'll know who's going to be where and who's going to excel. And again upgrades as well. It's upgrade central right now. So Mercedes could be bringing some more upgrades. I believe they did in Canada as well. So again, that could fare. But Rosberg definitely needs to keep his cool, keep his mentality, learn this circuit as much as he can. He's only got a few days to learn before he arrives there and starts into practice. So he needs to get on that simulator, concentrate as much as he can, get every single corner spot on, make sure he makes no mistakes, try and beat Lewis Hamilton, and hopefully give us a very, very close race and of course end of the championship.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about Max Verstappen. And I was saying the Monaco Grand Prix, he came off. He crashed in the wall in the race. He also did it in qualifying on the previous day, and then also he crashed in the race in 2015. So many crashes in Monaco, and they are. Sorry, let's stay with 2016. They were rookie mistakes, weren't they? So, do you think he's going to do that again? Because he had the crash in qualifying, okay, and people thought, well, maybe that was just Max, just one of those things. Yes. But then he did it in the race, and then people thought, well, hang on a minute, now he's not so much like a star child that we saw him at, when he came to Red Bull, won his first race, kicked Daniel out. Yeah. And then obviously Canada people were just saying, Max, don't crash. So with people out there with their mixed feelings of Max, some people will be thinking, some people will still be on a high from his Spain win, going, oh, he is the prodigy, he's the second coming. Some people will be thinking Monaco, oh, he's not, he's terrible, he's crashed twice. Mm-hmm. But then some people will be thinking fourth place, bringing something from Canada. How do you see Max now, and then how do you think he'll get on at the circuit?
I believe he'll do well. I mean, he's got the maturity, he's got the belief, and he's got the speed to win multiple races. Obviously, he's already proved that this season. It's like he's gone from one race to being, right, this kid's going to be the next big thing. You know, he's won a race, and everyone's getting overhyped by him.
Yeah.
Then come Monaco, he crashes both in qualifying and the race, and everyone's like, oh dear, is this winning mentality getting to him and stuff? And everyone's like criticising him, and like you can't really judge him by one particular performance. Yeah, one really good performance and one really bad performance. This is like, it could be a happy medium. Obviously, he performed very well in Canada. So again, that proves that the winning mentality hasn't got to his head.
Yeah.
That he is still a very concentrated and very mature driver. Right, I will move on to the next race. Again, as I've been saying a million times this season, that's a mentality he would have been brought up with obviously with his dad, Jos Verstappen.
Yeah.
And again, and this race won't be any exception. He'll be, again, many simulated runs will be tested on this circuit, but obviously with Red Bull, Ferrari, and everybody else, because nobody knows this circuit as well. So it is a very, very hard one to judge as to how Max Verstappen will do. But I believe he has got the knowledge, he has got the raw physical belief and the mentality of doing well at this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Maybe get on the podium as well. I would like to see him on the podium as well. But obviously, should the Mercedes crash out, both hit each other again, which they did in Canada, by the way. I only realised that, like, right, the first time that they started in the front row since Spain, where they hit each other, they had a brief encounter at the start where Rosberg went obviously white. Obviously, Vettel's start was unbelievable, let's not forget. But back on Max Verstappen, yeah, I mean, podium, I would say very, very likely as well. I'd probably put him in my top 3 if I would predict. But no, obviously, I'll put Max Verstappen a want to watch as well, right? Yeah. Max Verstappen, want to watch. If you want to place any bets for Max Verstappen either win or get on the podium, put him down.
That would be unbelievable to see Max.
It would be, yes. I believe.
I would have loved him to win Canada, but now Hamilton's back on the prowl. Then can you?
It's going to be close. It's going to be a very, very good future Formula 1 if Hamilton keeps that mentality and Max Verstappen gets a faster car. It's going to be really interesting.
Driver of the day at the 2016 Canadian Grand Prix GT, the 7th. Was
that's
Valtteri.
The proper trophy, guys. The proper trophy.
Yeah, mine was only the secondary
trophy you had last time.
Whatever, JT. Anyway, so the winner, the 7th time, was Valtteri Bottas. His 3rd place, his 2nd podium in Canada, a track that he loves. And technically, people count Canada as a street circuit. So how will he fare in the track?
I think he'll do good. Again, maybe. Well, obviously, it's a lot of straight line speed, which Williams are quite good at because obviously Mercedes power engine and stuff. So obviously that's to their advantage. And obviously, but then obviously, as like you said, into sector 3, with all them corners and everything. I think from turn 7 to about turn 18 or 19 is just corner after corner after corner after corner. So really, it's going to fare. You could say say the Mercedes are better on straight line speed, but then you could say the Ferraris are better in cornering speed. Yeah. So this is going to favour both types of cars or types of drivers. You know what I mean? So this is going to again a very, very exciting race. Yeah. In terms of the Williams' performances in the past couple of races, it has been all right. Finally, a podium this season as well from Valtteri Bottas. Congratulations to him. Obviously, winning driver of the day, brilliant. I'll maybe a chance of the podium this weekend. I think it'll be difficult for him, in my opinion, because Ferraris and Red Bulls they are quite good at street circuits as well, and obviously you've got the two Mercedes. So Bottas needs to have his strategy right. Oh, same with Massa. Strategy right. Speed needs to be right. He needs to get everything spot on. He needs to qualify well because I imagine it will be tricky to overtake. I'll probably say the only place to overtake will be in Sector 1, I would believe. So he'll need to qualify good. And obviously he'll need to keep his tyres well, his brakes well. Everything needs to run smoothly for him to have a chance at the podium. So if you're a Valtteri Bottas fan out there, I would probably say, sorry guys, I doubt he'll get on the podium. I might be proven wrong, but I can't say it.
I'd like to think he did. I'd like to think he would. And maybe he.
I'd like to think he would. I mean, he's a good driver.
And maybe he will win Driver of the Day award for the 2nd time.
Will he be the first?
Will be the first person to lift the Driver of the Day trophy more than once.
Some people are debating that it's fixed. It's not fixed.
It's not fixed. Where do people get that from? No.
It's not. It's super glued together, man. It's not that fixed. Jesus.
It's not that they send us money and then we give them the Driver of the Day award.
No.
I say that.
Oh dear.
So Sebastian Vettel, JT, after his amazing start and his amazing race at Canada, and remember he loves street circuits. He was the winner of the Singapore Grand Prix last year, which is probably, I'd say, one of his best with Ferrari. One of his best wins with Ferrari. So how how do you think he'll get on? I mean, the only thing I think that let him down was strategy, okay? Because obviously he drove an amazing race. As I pointed out in the review show, he was pitted as the virtual safety car was taken off the screen, which did hand the lead greater to Hamilton. He did have a few offs. You know, Seb did have a few run-offs.
Yes.
Obviously, remember his love of seagulls.
Oh yes, the seagull. I just watched the interview as well, where Hamilton was being interviewed by Sky F1, and then Vettel comes in. He's on about the seagulls. I was watching that just before recording here, and I was ill laughing. It was so funny.
He's seeing seagulls, man. He's like the sixth sense. I see dead people. I see seagulls.
I see seagulls. It's like whatever.
Seagulls. He's not right, but as long as there's no seagulls on the circuit, JT, Seb should be on for a good race, and in his mind, maybe even if the strategy's right, if Ferrari get the strategy right, then they should be on for a good race.
Yes, definitely. I believe there would be. I think both Vettel and Raikkonen have a very good chance of doing well here on the podium, potentially even winning. You know what I mean? Obviously, it depends how again the strategy goes as well, and obviously how well the tyres hold as well here, because one particular tyre might hold better than the other one. I mean, I believe the run. I mean, what tyres are they running, LC?
The super soft are the main tyre for Baku. The Ultrasoft hasn't been confirmed yet, but I can't see the Ultrasoft tyre making an appearance at Baku. Because it's a very in the red circuit, as they say. It's very hard and demanding on the tyres, but the super soft have been confirmed and a very popular tyre choice for the drivers.
So we'll say super softs and mediums for this weekend. So say for example, the softs might work better than the super softs. So again, it's all about being on that right tyre at the right time, which is crucial at every race, but more importantly at this one because nobody knows how well the circuit's going to be. But back to Ferrari. I would say a very good chance of the podium. I'll probably say they have a better chance of the podium than the likes of Red Bull and Williams. I'll probably put Vettel in my prediction to be second place alongside Max Verstappen in second place. Because again, he's a very talented driver. He's very good, and he's obviously that Ferrari car is good, but he needs to start winning a race. This could be a race to win for Sebastian Vettel. I mean, I would put him first to win, but I mean, obviously Lewis Hamilton's in a league of his own right now, so I'll probably say probably favour Hamilton more than Vettel. So obviously the driver that we seem to never really talk about is Kimi Raikkonen. Who sort of surprised us all this season. He's been on form for the past couple of years, always been in the shadow of Alonso, Vettel, and everyone else like that. And now this season he's sort of right. I've still got this. Come on guys, I've still got this. The Iceman is keeping us cool as he always does. I mean, Vettel more than Raikkonen in the podium, but obviously, if you want to make your own predictions as well, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. But obviously, you can always put Raikkonen as well because should Vettel retire, I'll probably throw Raikkonen into the ring as well, so as a potential podium contender at the circuit.
I mean, everyone's in there to win. We could see Pascal Wehrlein, Rio Haryanto, all these people.
We could. He's doing Ramadan, isn't he?
Sorry?
Rio Haryanto. He's doing Ramadan, I hear.
Possibly.
I think he is. I heard he is. So I mean, that could help him. I guess. I don't know what exactly.
I have no idea. But
let's know.
One of the things though that I have to mention in this, and it seems a bit one-sided, but. Remember, guys out there, and JT also, it is we have this round, Austria. So two races between. Our next round is Baku. The second round is Austria, and the third round, JT. What's after Austria?
What's after Austria? Let's have a think.
Could it be something we're going to?
It could be, but I'm not entirely sure what.
Could it be something where walking the pit lane on the Thursday, and then
It could be. It could be. It might be.
Guys, do you remember?
And it is.
Do you remember JT's reaction? Well, go and check that out if you haven't already. That came out on the episode. No, it didn't. It came out on the preview. So go and check that out of his live reaction to us walking the pit.
Yes.
Which was amazing.
That was supposed to be my reaction, but I wanted to keep professional. But I learned this weekend I'm not professional. So
yeah, you're way past professional, man. But
exactly.
Good for trying. So we've talked about the winners and the people who will probably do a good job, but let's talk about the people who aren't. And the first person I want to mention is, unfortunately, it's a British driver. It's Jolyon Palmer, JT. He has had a few abysmal races. I'd say Australia, he was fair, and then after that, he fell apart completely. As you know, he was number 2 of 3 drivers to retire with a water leak. As he lost power on the way back to the pit lane, he then smashed into the wall and not performing, being out-qualified by Kevin Magnussen, his teammate. And how do you see Julian? And then what can he do on the circuit to redeem himself? Because we're 1/3 through the champion through the season, which I've pointed out a lot of times. Yes. So he's only got 2/3 left, and he's run that. He has to show Renault that he's a driver that's worth keeping on for 17 and for the future, especially if Maldonado is thinking of return. And before you say that, Jay, also if you remember, guys, Renault came from Lotus. Which so you're thinking about obviously past Maldonado drove for Lotus, so they will still be in talk. So I think Maldonado has the better chance of getting into Renault, and and every race that goes by, as Julian slips down the line, Pastor moves up, and it might get to the point where Pastor's at the top, and they'll say, right, do you know what, Pastor, you're coming back to Formula One, and Julian's out.
I mean, not only Julian Palmer, I believe K-Mag is under a bit of pressure as well, because the pair of them have not been up to their potential standards as of yet. But let's not forget how bad the Renault car is this year. It's just so low on power. Yeah. And obviously they've only got limited chassis, because I believe Kevin Magnussen crashed in P3, didn't he? Yeah. On his outlap, and he lost the rear of the car and he crashed into the barrier. And I believe that they had to shoot that chassis off to the factory at Enstone to get that ready for this Grand Prix. Because they've only got 2 chassis between them or something. So it's like they're struggling for parts and everything. So again, that's down to that. But obviously, aside of that, these 2 drivers need to deliver now, really, if they want to show potential for next season. And because I believe Julian Palmer has got a better chance. Kevin Magnussen's got a better chance of staying on than Julian Palmer. Yeah. I'm not saying Julian Palmer's a bad driver. I'm just saying that Kevin Magnussen's been the better driver this season. Because when Julian was doing well in GP2 and GP3, obviously everyone predicted him to be the next Lewis Hamilton or Jenson Button, you know what I mean? And he hasn't been up to where he has been. But obviously, let's not forget, he might stay at Renault, they might do well 1 year, then he might, I don't know, for example, Christian Horner might leave Red Bull, buy a team, call it Horner GP, and then Julian Palmer moves to Horner GP and he wins the World Championship in his first year. So
I've got a better one. Maldonado GP.
Oh, God. Can you imagine how many parts they'll need for one practice session? 35.
Just as JT pointed out, remember, Renault are one of the richest teams on the grid because they supply 2 engines. They supply 1 engine to Red Bull and obviously Renault themselves. And then next year they will be supplying 2 as a manufacturer, and then obviously themselves, Toro Rosso, and then Red Bull, who will, by the way, they will drop the name Tag Heuer, whatever that is. What the hell's Tag Heuer, man? And then go back to Renault. So they will.
I'm confused.
If you are new to Formula One and you think, well, Red Bull Racing, they use a Renault engine, but they're called Tag Heuer, what's that? That is because of a fallout that they had. But don't worry, they'll be called Red Bull Racing Renault for 2017.
Yes. It's very confusing, by the way.
So anyway, guys, that is the end of our the preview. There's only one last thing to say, JT, and that is, let's have your predictions. 1, 2, and 3.
My prediction, as I've already basically explained, I'm going to have Hamilton to win the race because of his past performances, definitely. P2 would be Sebastian Vettel because, obviously, fantastic driver. He's got the potential to do well. It's a street circuit as well. It's going to favour his car. Straight and cornering. Vettel-esque. Third place, I'll probably go for Max Verstappen as well. Literally, as I said before, anyone could get P3. Probably tied with like Daniel Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen, possibly Nico Rosberg, but obviously Rosberg being so out of form, I can't see him being in the top 3 as of yet. So so for me, it would be Hamilton P1, Sebastian Vettel P2, and Max Verstappen P3. What would yours be, LC?
My predictions, JT, would be the reverse of your 1-2, so it would be Sebastian Vettel as the winner, Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place, and 3rd place, well, I'd like to say Max Verstappen. And there's one, I'm going to say one guy who you'll probably think, why? Why did I say that? It's Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz? That is intriguing, ladies and gentlemen.
I just have a feeling that he's going to get 3rd place. He's been doing so well this year. He has proven himself to be the best Spaniard on the grid. And possibly the only Spaniard for next year. But, He's outshining his teammate, Daniel Fiat. Obviously, red, white, and blue, blowing him out the water. And so Carlos, third place. We'll be leaving our predictions on the Facebook page as well. So if you can go and check them out, as JT said, leave your predictions down below in the comment section. We will be discussing them. We were discussing them in the review show, which will be coming on Sunday. Yes. So thank you very much for watching this episode, guys. Which came out on Monday was the review show, which was only by myself. As I say, sorry for not getting that on the Sunday. I did make it on the Sunday, but obviously, Sod's Law, I had to get it out on the Monday.
Yes.
On Wednesday, we are releasing the history of the European Grand Prix, where we talk about the many Grand Prix that have been held under the name the European Grand Prix, the tracks, and the amazing races that we've had. And we have on Saturday we have the F1 debate show. That is episode 16, and that will be a discussion about what is happening so far in Formula 1, and also because, as I say, we are 1/3 through the year, we'll be talking about what has happened and what can be expected. And then Sunday is the review show, yay! And then that'll be amazing. I hope you enjoy this week, guys, because this is the first back-to-back race we've had. So Baku is only from Canada. It was something like 6 days away, since the flag fell. So yeah, it's really good.
You could say it's a back race.
Oh my god!
Yes, guys. That has been better than LC's this season.
That is that is a turn off right now. So bye, guys. Quickly, we're leaving. Quickly, bye bye.
See you.
Whatever.